Okay, let's look at TI-Nspire CX. We got our main screen here. Now, if you don't see that screen, you can get that screen by pushing this home button. That'll take you back there. For example, if I'm over in the graph screen like this, if I want to go back to my home, I push the home button. That'll bring you back here. Now, different ways you can select those items. If you press your up arrow key, this is your up, your down, your left, and your right. If I press my up arrow key, I can highlight calculate. If I press my down arrow key, I can choose graph. And then you just press the middle of this, and that chooses your option. Now, another way you could do that, let me press the home to go back, is you see the A and B that's before them? If I press B, that's clear down here in our calculator. And if I press B, then that'll take my graph. Okay. Now, since you're in the graph here, you should see F1 of X down here equals. Well, we're going to take a look at our first graph, which is Y is equal to X. This is our basic graphing. So for Y is equal to X, I want to press my X key. Go clear down here. Here's your X. And I'll put an X on there. And then we press our tab button. Here's the tab button. And that'll graph it for us. Okay. That's our first graph. Now our second graph is Y is equal to X squared. Well, if I'm here at this mode right here, if I just press my right arrow key, it'll put my cursor after the X. And to clear out what's already there, you just keep pressing delete over and over until you clear it out. And now we're going to put in X squared. So I'm going to push my X key that's on the bottom row. I won't show that again because you've seen it. The X squared is right here. So I'll push X squared. And then I'll push tab to graph that. And then that'll graph that. Now again, when we put in our new one, you just want to press your right arrow key. The next one should be Y is equal to X to the third. Yeah. Now I can press my right arrow key, but let's say that isn't showing. Maybe you got this right here. Well, if you keep pressing tab, you'll get back to here. And actually see how it says F2 now? You have to do your up arrow to go back to F1. So I'll press my delete. Clean those out. And then I want to do X to the third. So I'll do my X key, clear it down at the bottom. To do any power on your calculator, this one doesn't demonstrate just how to do X to the third, but X to the fifth, X to the seventh, whatever. See the caret over here? I press the caret. And see how it puts it in exponent mode like that? And then I'll just push my 3. And gives us X to the third. Now I'll press tab. And that'll graph our X to the third. Now our next one we'll look at is Y is equal to X to 1/2. Now we don't care what this one particularly looks like. We're demonstrating here how to graph X to any fractional power, whether it's 1/2 or 2/3 or 17/201, whatever you might have. Well, I need to press my right arrow key, get my cursor back down there. I'm going to press my delete, clean those out. And actually, I'll do my X key again. And I'm going to do my caret again. That hasn't changed. Now to put a fraction into your calculator, you can actually just do 1 divided by 2. But above your divide here is the fraction symbol. So if I do Control divide, you see it'll put a fraction there. And now I can type 1, and I'll do my down arrow, and I'll put in 2. And I'll press tab. And tab one more time. There we go. The first tab took it out of the exponent mode, it looks like, and then the second one actually graphed it. So if I want to do X to the 2/3, I do the same thing. I press my right arrow to get the cursor back down there. Press delete a couple times. I'll put in my X key, do my caret, and then I'll do my control divide to put the fraction, and then put 2, down arrow, 3, and tab takes it out of the fraction, I guess, and then tab one more time graphs it. And that would be our graph. Let's take a look at how to do a square root of x. Well, I'm going to press my right arrow key to get back in the edit mode. Press my delete a couple times. The square root is above your x squared. So to get to it, we're going to push our control and then x squared. So control x squared. And that'll put the square root on there. And then I'll put my x key in. Tab will probably... oh, I thought I'd have to do it twice. Okay, just did it one time and put the square root of x there. Now that's the same as x to 1/2, which is no surprise because they are actually the same. Let's take a look at how to do the cube root. And cube root and fourth root are very similar on a TI-Nspire CX. So I press my right arrow key, I get back there, and I press my delete, clean out what's there. Now if you press delete too many times, you press it one more time, it gets rid of the equals. Well, if it does that, then you just want to choose the equals, so we'll come down to number 3. Now above the caret is a radical looking symbol. So we're going to do second caret, and it puts us a radical on there where we can input the index. So put the 3 in, press my right arrow key, and then I'll put my x key in there. And that'll give us the cube root of x once I tab. There's a cube root of x. Now next one was the fourth root of x. Well, this is almost exactly like this one. We're going to press our right arrow key, and I'll press my delete a couple times. I'm going to do my control caret, put my 4 in, right arrow over, put my x in, and then I'll press tab, and that'll be our y is equals the fourth root of x. Now it looks very similar to the square root of x, but it's a little closer down to the x-axis. Now our next one is the absolute value of x. Well, I'm going to press my right arrow key, throw it in edit mode, press delete a couple times. To get to the is it absolute value? Yeah, absolute value. You want to not that. Choose. You want to choose this book looking thing. So the book button. It's actually a catalog, and it gets here. And to go to the A's, you can press A if you're not already there. If I press B, it'll take me down to the B's. C's will take me to C. D will take me down to D's. But anyway, I'm going to press A. And the first one, I know that's not very, you can't see that real well, but that says absolute value. So we're going to go ahead and push enter on it. Now when I say enter, talking about the enter right here. And it puts the absolute value there. And then we'll put the X key. And I'll press tab. Tab one more time. First tab just took it out of the absolute value, and then again had to for graphing it. And that'll get us our absolute value of x. Now the last one is we got this fraction here, x plus 3 over x minus 1. Well, press my right arrow key to throw it in edit mode. Press my delete a couple times. I want to choose the fraction. Well, remember the fraction is above your divide. So I do control divide. It'll put a fraction there. And I think we had what, x plus 3 and x minus 1. So I'll do x key plus 3, down arrow, and then x minus 1. Like that. And I press tab one time, and that'll give us our graph. And those are your basic graphing on your calculator. Now you can see across top here it says scratch pad. I did something weird on my calculator. I'm definitely not an expert on this. I'm just trying to learn enough to get my students who come in with a TI-Nspire up and running. I did something weird. I couldn't figure out how to get rid of a graph. It just wouldn't go away. Finally, what I did is I used I pressed tab to get rid of that bar there. See how I got a mouse? I moved this this right here is how you move your mouse. So I ran my finger over that to move the arrow up here, and then I chose the down arrow on the scratch pad. And not very good with this mouse on this calculator. I went down to here to clear scratch pad B, and then I chose it. Now you can also just press B, and then when I chose this little calculator button here, then everything's cleared out. So if you get stuck and you're trying to clear it out, that's the way I did it. Now this speaking of this little calculator button here, each time you press that, it alternates back. This is where you can put like a just a normal calculation in, 3 plus 6, enter. And if I press that little calculator button one more time, that throws you into graph mode. And you see it across the top there, there's tabs here. So anyway, I'll press the home button, this button right here, take me back there, and that's basic graphing on a TI-Nspire CX.